Hi guys, Britism here, and yeah, I've just seen the HBO Harry Potter trailer, and I've got mixed feelings. I would say is probably the best way to put it. Um, so I've been a Potter fan since the first film. That's when I first sort of picked up the series. I got the VHS at the time, the video of the first Harry Potter film. Watched that, loved it. Started reading the books, and then so on and so forth. Collected the Lego, the works, the games, the merchandise, everything Harry Potter. And what I can say is, this TV series, um, I really don't know. The jury is out at the moment, in my opinion. So I'm going to start with the good. I'm going to start with the things that I think are pretty I'm going to start on an optimistic note because it's Britism. I'm an optimistic guy. Of course I am. So I'm going to start with the good stuff. So the casting of the Golden Trio, from what I can see from the trailer, looks to be pretty good. It actually looks spot on. I mean, Harry looks spot on. Ron looks spot on. The way that Hermione looks to be played and the way that the actress played her in the audiobooks that Amazon released on Audible seemed great. I can't complain about that. I cannot complain about that. And to be quite honest, I'm disgusted at some of the comments about Arabella, who plays Hermione online, like, bringing up her race and things like that. This is a kid. It's a 10-year-old. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I get it. I know that Hermione is described as being very pale, this, that, and the other, but at least they haven't got an old cursed child with her. So, I think that is totally unacceptable when you're dealing with a young girl. So, show some respect on that front. The Dursleys seems spot on, to be fair. I mean, Petunia looks to be how she's described in the book rather than the film. So I think the film adaptation of Petunia isn't quite book accurate. So she's blonde in the books. I don't know. I think, they seem pretty good from what I've seen so far. Dumbledore and McGonagall look alright. So I think from what we've seen of them, they look okay as well. I mean, there's some big shoes to fill with Richard Harris, Michael Gambon, and Maggie Smith, but, I think it looks okay so far. I mean, I'll overlook what Lithgow said about J.K. Rowling. I thought that was very pathetic when he said, he shouldn't have taken the role, this, that, and the other. I thought that was ridiculous. But let's see how they play. Let's see how they play the roles. The jury's out on that. But it's looking good in terms of what I've seen so far in terms of those casting decisions. The Hogwarts Express, brilliant. It just looks like the one in the film. All right, for those train buffs out there, it's not a castle class. Hogwarts Castle should be a castle class, but it's played or portrayed with another Hull class locomotive. So for those of you that obviously watched the theatrical Harry Potter series, will know that the Hogwarts Express was then Alton Hall, which is now on static display at the Warner Brothers Studio Tour in Watford. I don't know if it's still there, but I saw it in the flesh at York Railway Museum back in 2011, and yeah, it was quite a sight. But yeah, and now it's Wickwick Hall, so I don't know if they'll ever get a castle class to portray the Hogwarts Express, but meh, who really cares about that? The mediocre. Let's get on with the mediocre stuff. So Draco, mediocre in my opinion. The jury is out on that. Again, young kid, so I don't want to rip on the actor, but the hairstyle, I'm not sure it's Draco-ish. I suppose it's a modern audience take on Draco. The fact that he's got like the perm, which lads have these days, seems to be all the rage. But you've got to bear in mind, I think the TV series is sticking with the 90s theme, so I'm not sure that hairstyle would have been all that in the 90s. They should have really stuck with the Tom Felton slick back look. But hey ho, minor thing. The castle interior, I don't know about that either. I really don't know from what I've seen so far. It just looks very dark. Doesn't look like a pleasant place to be, does it? When you think about Hogwarts Castle in like the first couple of Harry Potter films, it looked really pleasant. It's got a nice vibrant colour palette, this, that, and the other. Which takes me on to the bad points, really. I think everything about this trailer looks so dark. What is it with directors these days going for really dark and dull and miserable cinematography? I thought this was meant to be a positive thing that Harry goes to Hogwarts and gets his letter, and the wizarding world's meant to be like a vibrant escape from what he's had to put up with before. But it looks darker than the frickin' Dursley's house. The castle looks so dull. It should be a pleasant thing. Okay, yeah, the films, they get darker as they go along, noticeably very dark in the last few films. But, let's start it with a positive and then start to put the darker spin on things when Voldemort returns after Goblet of Fire and things like that. Don't just bloody start it with a miserable, dark, grey, washed out palette. It's not a vibe. And then I would say, obviously, the worst thing about this, and I don't want to do it to death, Severus Snape. Okay, the race swap is one thing. Of all the characters to race swap in the Harry Potter franchise, you do not pick Severus Snape. For a number of reasons, it's problematic. So, one, obviously in the books he's described as having sallow skin, this, that, and the other. He's an outcast. He's meant to be a bit of a, well, as Petunia called him, a bit of a freak. He's meant to be that sort of look. He's bullied mercilessly by Harry's dad and the other members of the Marauders. So that is going to be majorly problematic later on in the series. No question about that. I mean, why wouldn't it be? I don't think it's right. I really don't think it's right what they've done with him. Replacing Rickman was a big job anyway, but to go with a race swap, I just don't think it works. I mean, I feel sorry for the actor. The shit is getting online, but come on, of all the characters, he would have played a brilliant Kingsley or something like that. I really wouldn't have given a shit if they'd have race swapped, I don't know, Lucius Malfoy or even Draco or whatever it is. I don't give a shit. But Severus Snape, no, it was just the wrong one to pick, really, in my book. They could have gone for a black Hagrid for all I care. I don't give a damn. Like they did in the stage show of the Cursed Child. I don't care about that. But not Severus Snape. But let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I just don't get it. And then the other thing about him is that bloody costume. It looks ridiculous. The zip. What is it with the zip? It looks like either a Halloween costume or somebody from the Hood. Do you know what I mean? You should have gone for a similar sort of style to the Severus Snape from either the drawings that Rowling put together in her early sketches and the illustrated editions of the books, or a similar sort of costume design as what we saw with Rickman. Not this ridiculous look of like something is just thrown on and zipped up at the front. This is meant to be Severus Snape. And you know what? I think, thinking on it more and more, I'm just wondering if it's even necessary. One, do we need a TV series that's just going to be, yeah, okay, you can do more than what the films did in terms of like bits of the books and things like that. But it's obviously not going to be book accurate, even though they promised it was going to be, because they would have done that to Snape if it was going to be book accurate. But I still think, and I know it was 25 years ago since the first film, but I still think it's too soon. I really do. I honestly think it's too soon to be doing this. And those are my thoughts. Let me know yours. It's just me ranting, really, this video, isn't it? And, I did start with some positives, so let's be fair about it. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please share the video. Please like. Please subscribe. We're trying to build a community on this channel. We're not doing it for money and clicks and this, that, and the other. We're just doing it to build up a bit of support. But let me know your thoughts on this Harry Potter TV series trailer. And, hopefully I'm proved wrong. Hopefully it's a dream. Hopefully it's a fantastic series. But I think the jury's out. I'm not saying it's going to be terrible. I'm not going to say it's brilliant. But let's find out. And we'll find out together, hey? We'll find out at Christmas. Take it easy. Love you a long time. Thanks very much.